Alright guys, we're back again, and this is part 2 of our look at Centerba. I don't know if you guys remember last time we tasted it, and we have some thoughts about it, and now we're going to see if we can make a cocktail out of it.
Yes, we are.
Seem to be struggling over there.
No, I got it.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Good. I wanted to get this off of here before I got going.
Okay.
So, before we get started on this, I wanted to go over the process for what I came up with and if I think this is gonna work or not.
Mm-hmm.
Went on the internet as I do when I see a new liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Or spirit or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get information and inspiration
Mm-hmm.
to make a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, the internet did not help me this time all that much. First of all, I don't think this has a website. I tried looking for it, but every time I, went there,
It has a Facebook page.
I'm not looking for a Facebook page. I want a website,
Mm-hmm.
like a honest to God website.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not friends. Couldn't find a website.
Mm-hmm.
When you type this stuff in, it comes up as under other websites where you can buy the stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that before in a lot of stuff we've messed with in the past.
So that gave me, very little to go off of. I even typed this into YouTube, and the only people that even remotely talked about this stuff, there were people that talked about it, but they never really cut to the chase as far. In other words, it was information that we already knew.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get any information from there. And the only other people that talked about it was us. Because we put out the first video.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, what is that guy's name? Anders.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he didn't even talk about this one in particular. He talked about the other one because he was doing a video about the other green stuff that people are going crazy over, the chartreuse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, which, by the way, I don't have an opinion on that. I mean, whatever you think would make a good substitute, you do you.
Are they saying that this is a substitute for chartreuse?
That, not that in particular, but the lower proof one, as well as several other items that they put out there. I know Anders he did that video. I know Uncle Pete did a similar video. Educated Barfly did a similar video. And basically here are these 4 or 5 random ingredients that you probably never heard of that may be a replacement. So, and I don't want to downplay those videos, but that's literally what all of those videos did, was they kind of said the same thing. And out of all of those 3 that I mentioned, Andres was the closest to talk about this stuff.
Right.
Ironically, he said that the lower proof version of this kind of would make a good substitute. So, So anyway, I continued my search, and I did come up upon one cocktail.
Okay.
It was from a bar in Seattle called the Dark Room. This bar opened up in January of this year. I'll post the link in the description. But anyway, she talked about the drink. She talked about the bar, and what this drink what the kind of stuff that they're making out of there. And from the looks of things, they're making some pretty neat stuff out there.
So we need to add that to the list of bars we need to go to. That's what you're saying. Okay.
And the drink in particular was supposed to be a riff on the rum swizzle.
Mm-hmm.
And it had this as one of its ingredients. You know, I'm thinking to myself, this stuff must be so underutilized and under the radar for me to have only found that one example. And I'm pretty sure there are other examples. There are other drinks out there. I just didn't find them. Mm-hmm. Like, if you guys can throw some stuff at me about this stuff, I would love to hear about it. Be that as it may, the only thing I took from that article and from that drink in particular is that this stuff can be made into a cocktail.
Okay.
So
I would hope so.
yeah,
God help you if you just drank this straight.
I'm not gonna.
You might be a better man or a crazier man than me.
All guys from all religions help you. Be that as it may, I went the complete opposite as far as flavors were concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I'm going to do is more or less a riff on the Brandy Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully I get it right.
Okay. Now, for those who might not know, what is a Brandy Alexander?
Basically, it's a cocktail made with cream,
Mm-hmm.
brandy,
Mm-hmm.
and creme de cacao.
Okay.
And it's basically like a dessert cocktail.
Okay.
So
would this be replacing the brandy in that situation?
maybe not because of the measurements I'm going with. I gotta play around with the measurements with this because too much of this stuff is overwhelming. That I did pick up from the article because when they were talking about the drink, they said that they did not use much of this in the actual cocktail. So that tells me at the very least, at the most, they went half an ounce with this.
Okay.
I'm going to be a little daring, and I think I'm gonna do 3/4 of an ounce. But we'll see. I guess we get started now.
Okay.
So, to start, I'm gonna do half an ounce of simple syrup.
Okay.
Because I think what's going to help this cocktail is if it's as sweet as possible as well as flavorful. I know one thing about the Brandy Alexander, with all of the ingredients in there, they don't put simple syrup in there, but the rest of the ingredients in and of itself are supposed to invoke the flavors that you're looking for and be sweet at the same time. I think the cream, though, the cream is supposed to be what gets it to that flavor profile. As well as the creme de cacao and everything like that. But if you're looking for sweetness, like the closest you're gonna get to it would be the creme de cacao and the cream. Speaking of which, we are going to do. Now I'm using half and half, so off rip we're not even going full cream.
Yeah. It's interesting to put simple syrup in a cocktail that's cream based. I've never seen it before.
I've done it before. You probably don't remember it, but I've done it before. Alrighty. Okay. Now, the reason why I hesitated on your question about if this will be replacing the brandy is literally because the liquor that's going to have the most, that's going to be more than this would be the coffee liqueur that I'm gonna put in. It's not gonna be creme de cacao. I'm actually gonna go with Cantera Negra.
Okay. Back on the shelf, we've had Cantera Negra before, and we drank it up, so we bought a new bottle.
I love the flavor of this, so I figured this should stand up to the Centerba.
I hope it does. I really hope it does.
We're gonna do an ounce of this. Okay. Last but not least, our Centerba. Get that whip in. Even though you smelled it before. Okay. A generous half an ounce, but closer to a 3/4 of an ounce. I chickened out. I'm not even gonna lie.
So 3/4 of an ounce.
Sort of. Okay. Okay. We're gonna add the ice. Ready? No, but what choice do I have? We're gonna create something. Let's begin to shake. And if you guys have another strainer, you may want to double strain this as well. Why would double strain to get some of the ice chips? So I didn't really have a garnish for this. I was gonna use cinnamon. I don't know how that's gonna stand down here. All right.
You know I do this for y'all. Smells comfortable. It's good. It's actually good. You can taste the Centerba. It's not overwhelming. It's sweet. It's actually a decent. I was thinking you were gonna go for more of a winter drink, but this is a nice coffee drink for the summertime. If you just want coffee in the summertime, it's good. The Centerba adds a slight twist of flavor to it that makes it unique.
Okay.
And the cinnamon on top helps it out too.
I actually did cinnamon sugar.
Oh, that's cinnamon
Just
sugar.
gone.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I could drink one of these. You got your coffee notes. The coffee balances it out. I am fully understanding why they highly suggest coffee on their little logo. why they highly suggest pouring it in your coffee. It's good with coffee. It melds into the flavor of coffee. You did it, bud. You made this stuff tolerable. Let me see.
Top. Wait. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The coffee is pulling some minty wintergreen vibes out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that Centerba.
Mm-hmm.
It's letting that stand out against the coolness of the drink.
Like if Starbucks went boozy, I could see them serving this. Starbucks, call us if you ever want to go boozy. We can help out with that. You know, for the right price.
That is pretty snazzy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I knew this stuff had potential.
Okay.
I said that. That's why I gave it a 7
I
in my rating.
prayed it had potential. I stick to my 4. I stand by my 4. But it tastes good in that. You know, if you're a coffee drinker, you know.
Yeah, you have to experiment with this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you have to, you know, and I know it can be scary to take risk on something like that. Like I said before, we spent this was $50.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get that back because we already cracked open the seal.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm gonna be making a lot more of these drinks.
You're gonna be experimenting and see if we can do other stuff with it.
Yeah, I want to.
Or we're gonna have coffee parties or something. Yeah. I have a name for it. I don't know. It's a little bit lazy, but
Give me what you got.
it's a product of Italy. Calling it Italian breakfast.
Italian brunch, or a Mount Magella brunch, or a Mount Magella breakfast.
I feel like that's it's a lot of words. I think an Italian breakfast is it rolls off the tongue. It's easy. Continue on with your day.
Sure.
There you go.
I mean, sure.
All right, an Italian breakfast. So, that was an adventure. Like you said, trying new things can be scary, but it worked out this time.
You say that as if there's supposed to be a musical sting to come in and be like, dun dun.
Yeah, because you never know. We may run across that liqueur that's like, we can't do anything with this.
I mean, to be fair, maybe I should have added some Benedictine to this. It's too late now. To be fair, if they put it on the market, it would suggest that you can do something with it. It's just that it's up to you to figure out exactly what it is that you do with it.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I will argue that if you're putting a product on the market to sell, you as the person that made this stuff need to tell us what good is it for.
And they did. They put the thing here.
They did, but I mean, like, we tasted it first, and we doubted them, and now we have this as an example of how it can be done.
So at least, you know, after you did the research, at least we can say that we are the foremost people who have a video about this product on the internet. So whenever people want to know about this and they look it up, our video's gonna pop up.
And I'm gonna link to the article that I read about this so that they can see what they did with this over at the Dark Room in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, with that being said and done, that will do it for this episode of Drink Tales. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you're notified of all content that's coming to the channel. You also know where to check us out. We're on the Instagrams, we're on the YouTubes, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Come give us a shout. Tell us if there's any kind of liqueur or any kind of drink that you think we should try, that you think might even be impossible to make good, like we did this. We did the impossible. It wasn't really that impossible. Someone did it before us, but you know what I mean. But that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales, and until next time, everybody, peace.